We give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah by the way of Yahushua HaMashiach, our master this day. John 5:39. You're going to have to, anybody come to that door, you're going to have to open it for them because it's locked from the outside. And it says, search the scriptures. Y'all remember we just looked at the other day when it say for search? That's when we looked at that word in number 21 for dig, and it literally meant search or find out. So when you look at that number 21 and say they digged a well by the instruction of the lawgiver, search it out. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. So, we guess we just gonna get right up onto it. Let's go to Isaiah 14, and let's go on and look at it. So when we look at Isaiah 14, I say probably about verse 9 before we get to it. Now we looking at it, right? We see the name Lucifer here. This the black one. That's what we know. Now we know that this name is only mentioned in the book one time, but we know that it actually translates to this, YAH. And when we see what it translates to, we see that we have the Hey, the Yod, and the Lamad 2 times. So what we actually see, that YAH actually means to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train. So when we look at Lucifer, and when we read verse 12, we did look at, oh, how to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, how you have fallen from Shamayim. That's what you actually need to look at and see, because that's what it's saying to you. You know what I'm saying? We had to remove Lucifer completely out of our brain and put YAH, and it says to reveal the hand of authority to teach and to train. Now, who's going to be the one that's going to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train? We have to sit back and look at it and see that. So we look at verse 10, right? He say, art thou, and all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we, art thou become like unto us? Now, I didn't read verse 9, where it sits back and state that the hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming, and stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. Well, we know hell is grave. We know there's only one person that the grave is going to move at their coming. Let's look at 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. Just to bring it to your remembrance. We ain't looked at this in a while, and we'll come right back. So we look at 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. It's only one person. Hold on. I ain't got it in this. Oh, there we go. 4 and 13. He say, but I would not have you ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. But if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Elohim bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Master, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Master shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Master himself shall descend from Shamayim with the shout. Now we're going to sit back and look at that, because we talked about this, right? And we're going to line that up too, more detailed, that this man got to come back during tabernacles if this man going to be reigning for 3.5 years. Looking at the man of sin, the line back, that he coming back with a shout. Because we're going to look in Zechariah, we'll talk about that shout. This man said, I'm coming back for war time. Because he going to war with this man of sin. So if he going to war with this man of sin, it's got to line up with what we got in him. Right? It's got to line up with what we got in him. Look what he say though. With the voice of the Ark Malachim, with the trump of Elohim, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first. You know what I'm saying? He says the grave gonna be moved at your coming. Now we know commonly we always told Lucifer is the devil. So that means we would have to find where the graves are gonna move when the devil comes. When does it even say that he's gonna come? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no grave. We only know, look at John 5:25. Now, of course, we know we've already been looking at this without it. But really what we're looking at it for is the tie to Aaron's name, which is the leader to reveal the exalted binding together of continual life. 5:25. John 5:25. Come on, Stain. Truly, truly, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Man, I'm sorry, the voice of the Son of Elohim, and they that hear shall live. For the Father have life in himself, so have he given to the Son to have life in himself, and have given him authority to execute judgment, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, the hour is coming, in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and they shall come forth. They that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. So we seeing who this is. He's sitting here telling you, the grave's going to move when I come. He say, when they hear my voice. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say, my sheep hear my voice. So you sit back. That's why he say the only people that's going to take that mark is the people whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, which means they don't hear his voice. And if you don't hear his voice, how would eternal life be in you? Which go back to what I read you, that faith come by hearing the word. It's going to be by hearing the word by somebody who was sent. So if you don't have no faith, it's because that person wasn't never telling you the word, or you didn't believe what you were hearing. One and two. Come on back to YAH 14. Hello. Hello. All right. So, what glove at? You heard me, Lee? I said, what glove at? No, you're right. Oh, he said he gonna stay there with you. Good man. You like Pat time, he might have just gone ahead and peeled out on you. Go back with that hard. When we see verse 10, right? They shall speak and say unto thee, art thou come weak as we, or thou become like unto us? Well, you know what I'm saying? We know that the Son of Man, that Yahushua became a man. He became weak like us. How we know that? The Ruach is willing, the flesh is weak. Like Paul told us in Romans 7, in his flesh is no good thing. So you became like us. That goes what Hebrew told us about. He didn't take on the nature of Malachim, but took on the nature of the seed of Abraham, that he might be a faithful and merciful high priest, and all the things pertaining to the reconciliation of the people. So he had to become weak like we are. That's why he say, my favor is made strong in weakness. You know what I'm saying? He said, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, the noise of the vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How thou art fallen from Shamahim, O Hiel, or O, to reveal the hand of authority to teach and to train. Now, we just sat back and read in John 5:39. We didn't read it actually in 39. Let's look at John 5:44. Let me finish the whole verse. O son of the morning. So let's look at something, right? Let's see the Hebrew word for morning here. So when we read that, we ain't going to read Lucifer, we're going to read Hiel. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to read, O revealed hand of authority to teach and to train.
Yeah, it's Shakak in the morning.
It's the same word?
Yeah.
Indeed. Same word we got for day spring. Dawn. Day. So we're going ahead and spring and look at that because we got this word up here. So we have this word day spring, means dawn, light, rise. We have the shin, the chat, and the rosh. So what we have, the power of his being, covered habitation, will exalt his esteem. So you know what this is really telling you? The Ruach HaKodesh will cover your body, and you will exalt him. His exalting or his esteem will be in you. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's sitting and you're sheltered and you're covered, that means your sins are covered, which is actually going to take us right back to that fig leaf in Genesis, which is a whole nother thing. Because what did they do after they sinned? They went and got something to cover themselves. You know what I'm saying? You sit back and look at it, we need something to cover ourselves. We seek to be swallowed up by immortality. We want that covering that comes from Shamahim. Therefore, Yahuwah is exalted through his son, but that's the power of his being. So when we look at this here, this man is telling us, oh, to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, the power of his being is cover my habitation, tis esteem. Now, how we going to get Hashatan out of that? You know what I'm saying? We can't get that out of that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world we going to get that out of that. Let's look at this John 5:44 first, and then we'll look at the places where day spring is actually written in. We'll just take our time. John 5:44. Look what he tells us. For 43. He said, I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another come in his own name, him you will receive. So he came to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train. So that means he was coming in Yahuwah's name. Now, who was the first one that came to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train before him?
Moses.
Moses was the first one. Because what did he do? He the one who revealed the covenant to the people. Who gave him the authority to do it? Hello?
Yeah, when he went on that mountain.
What's going on with you, Pep? And who was the one teaching and training? Now we got to take back because we need the imperative because I want to make sure that y'all can see this out the law clear. So let's look at, let's see if Deuteronomy 6 got what I want. We just want to make sure that Moses is the one who he gave the authority to teach the people. Six and 1. Let's just look what he say. And we'll look at 5 and 1 as well. So remember, he's got to reveal the hand of the authority to teach and train. Let's see what Moses do. Now these are the commandments and statutes, the judgments which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it, that thou might fear Yahuwah thy Elohim, to keep his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Now let's look at 5 and 1, and let's see what he tell him now. Listen what he tell him. And Moses called all Yasharal and said unto them, Hear, O Yasharal, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that you may learn them, keep them, and do them. What is he doing? Is he not teaching and training these people? And in him doing that, he's revealing the hand of authority, because who did he get the law from? He got it from Yah, right? Written by whose fingers? Yah's fingers wrote it. His hand wrote it. All he did was reveal the authority to teach and train the people. That's all Moses doing. Because the people, if he don't give them the law, they don't get it. Listen what he said. Yahuwah Elohim made a covenant with us in Horeb. So guess what he did? He made a sign and a mark. So that sign and the mark is to bind together the covenant to reveal. Now that's going to actually, when we go back to that and we look at them fringes or them zits, that gives us a whole nother thing of what they was really about. Because you had to take them what you had to weave them, didn't you? And bind them together. So that thing was all the whole time it was pointing to the body, which I got something with that assembly, spelling out assembly and what that means, because we know assembly don't mean nothing but congregation, and congregation don't mean nothing but point to the body, and all that's pointing to Mashiach, and how it's all binded together and it's one. That's how it's supposed to be. He said, Yahuwah made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are alive this day. Yahuwah talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahuwah and you at that time to show you the word of Yahuwah. For you were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Mizraim from the house of bondage. Did you see, say, I stood in between you to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, because you were scared. You know what I'm saying? So we actually see Hiel can take us right back to the law, and it can take us to Moses.
Hey, excuse me, get out of here.
So when it take you to Moses, guess what it taking you to? It's gonna take you back to the Son. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take you back to him, because he said, I gotta raise up a prophet like unto Moses. You know what I'm saying? And we know Mashiach will come to do what? To reveal the hand of authority to teach and train. See, let's look at Matthew 11:27. See, then got your good human man pants on, y'all.
What?
Your good human man pants. Huh? What's that? All you need is the white shirt. I'm gonna ask for some ice cream. I figured he wasn't gonna stay too long. Oh man, we used to kick it with that dude, man. Pale, that was Josiah that was in here. He was just left out of here. That's who Pale started with. I say Josiah had just left out of here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he said he had to leave. He said he had to go do his. He might have actually did it 3 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, okay. So he had came through, man.
No, he happened to see us in here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Might have got a little bit too much for him, what we talking about. Especially talking about Lucifer. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a sticky topic right there. 11:27. He say, all things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man know the Son but the Father, neither know any man the Father save the Son, and to he whomsoever the Son will reveal him, to reveal the hand of authority to teach and to train. You know what I'm saying? So he say, to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, the power of his being has covered my habitation to his esteem. How did you fall from Shamayim? and become weak like us? How did you become a man? You know what I'm saying? So when we turn around and we look at the man of sin, that's what he's going to. Let's look at Daniel chapter 11 to show you what I'm talking about. When we look at the man of sin that we've been reading about all week, we're going to see him do something. This is Daniel 11 about 32. It's actually Daniel 11 and 30. And I guess we'll go ahead and work that one part what you were talking about. Go ahead and get that in there now. Daniel 11 and 30. I'm just getting the word for intelligence that we used last night. And I actually called the word out. So, it say, for the ships of Shittim shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved and returned and have indignation against the Kadesh covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the Kadesh covenant. So in this instance, the word for intelligence is, let me make sure we don't say it wrong. Let's see what it says. Basically, it says being. It's spelled B-I-Y-N, but you would say being. And listen what it means. To discern, to understand, to consider. To understand, to know with the mind. Hold on. To observe, mark, give heed to, distinguish and consider. And then when we go further down, to teach and instruct. So if he's going to have intelligence with them that forsake the Kadesh covenant, then guess what he going to do? He going to hit him with the towel. He going to mark him. He going to mark him. You know what I'm saying? To forsake the Kadesh covenant is to forsake Yahuwah, to turn your back on the word. So he's going to mark them. You know what I'm saying? So we have to sit back and be aware of that, because he wants to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train. But let's look at Revelation 13 and let's see who gave him his authority to teach and to train. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the names of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of the bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the serpent gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshiped the serpent, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. So you see what he's trying to do? Yahushua's objective was to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, so what? All the world would worship the Father. This man is coming through to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, so all will worship the serpent. Because it said clearly he will teach all those who forsake the Kadesh covenant. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say the lust of your father ye will do, because he will teach you to do these things. You know what I'm saying? So we had to sit back and look at who you really following. He said, he that commits sin is of the devil. Therefore the Son of Man, Son of Elohim, has come to destroy the works of the devil, was manifested to destroy them. This is why he's going to be manifested in the last day to destroy them. Look at 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Because he got to destroy to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train. This man is going out through the whole earth teaching people to rebel against the law.
He gonna probably teaching them doctrines these niggas already been teaching anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Matter of fact, since you said that, is that first? Make sure that's the one I want. Well, we'll get 2 Timothy chapter 4 and 1, go along with that. And 1 Timothy chapter 4.
You on 1 Thessalonians 5?
Chapter 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, I'm sorry. And about verse 7. But then we'll look at 1 Timothy 4 and 2 Timothy 4. What he telling you these things of what's actually going to happen. And people literally are going to follow doctrines of devils. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be taught to go against the Kadesh, to forsake it, to abandon it, to turn their back on it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people thinking they ain't turned their back on it, but just like the man said, you partial in the law. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is partial. I'm going to keep the parts I want to keep, because niggas is self-willed. He say, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the ruach of his mouth, and shall destroy at the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Hashatan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So you have to sit back and realize that Mashiach came after the working of Yahuwah to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train. And what did he come with? With power, with signs and wonders. So what is the beast going to come and do to try to imitate? Power, signs, lying wonders. Then when he come with these things, then he can sit back and look at, he's trying to imitate Yahusha all the way to the T. You know what I'm saying? That when he come and he teach these people, they going to sit back and see the hand of authority. See, matter of fact, we'll get it in a minute. Look at it, 1 Timothy 4:1. We'll get it in a minute. It's the same thing the man told you in Romans chapter 6, man. 6 and 16. He said, whoever you yield your member service to obey is to whom you obey, whether sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness. This who going to have authority, because this who teaching you and who training you. He said, now the Ruach speak expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing Ruachs and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. You know what I'm saying? That's reprobate status. Because you talking about seducing spirits. You know the book say, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. You know what I'm saying? Niggas sitting back, you getting enticed by, like I told you the other day, man, we was looking at, the instruction of fools is folly. A nigga will sit down and take the counsel of a sinner. You know what I'm saying? And you know that these niggas sit back and know a nigga is sinning. Niggas wrong all the way around the bowl. And they be like, I'm gonna pray for you. But because they claiming what you claiming, even though you already actually know what the lick read, you trying to convince yourself that it's legitimate because this is something that you want to do anyway, and all you looking for somebody is to co-sign it. 2 Timothy chapter 4. 4:1. That's a dangerous place to be when you're looking for somebody to co-sign it. Instead of just saying, well, shoot, this is what I want to do, I'm going to go do it. He said, I charge thee therefore before Elohim and the Master Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Again, the grave will be moved for thee at your coming. You know what I'm saying? Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Listen what he say. For the time will come when they shall not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust they shall heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. This is exactly what Daniel is telling you, that the time gonna come that they gonna heap to people who telling them what they want to hear according to their desires. You know what I'm saying? And that they gonna sit back and they gonna turn their back on the truth and they gonna turn to stories and fairy tales. Now we can look at Jeremiah 22, we were talking about earlier. Now they going after doctrines out of a man's own heart. That's why the book say they'll end up in the latter days, there'll be haters of them that are good. You know what I'm saying? And cleave to them that are evil. Niggas don't even know you fulfilling the book just by certain stuff you doing, showing your character, showing that you the person they were talking about. 23 and 15. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, I feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gall. For the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness, gone forth into all the land. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out the mouth of Yahuwah.
17.
Yeah. They say still unto them that despise me, Yahuwah hath said, ye shall have shalom. And they say unto every one that walk after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. You know what I'm saying? Now he telling you you're going to have shalom. Well, we know shalom mean what? To destroy the authority attached to chaos. If that ain't happened and you don't forsook the Kodesh covenant, and you listening to this man of sin, he's revealing you the hand of authority to teach and train, which is Hashatan, which means that chaos will always be present. It will never be destroyed. People don't even realize what it means. I want peace. I want peace. So you want Satan gone. You never gonna get that where Satan is present. Because it's always gonna be in the back of your mind. I know I'm going to hell, but. So when you say but, you done threw out that you know you're going to hell. You don't really care about going to hell. I'm happy though. I'm doing what I like though. I'm comfortable though. Because wherever Hashatan is, it's gonna be confusion and chaos. That's never gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? It might abate for a little while, but it's never gonna stop. And you'll never have the true peace that you seeking. Oh, excuse me. Got a little gas on it. I told him, couldn't do it.
Little bubbly.
Little public. Drunk a lot of milk this morning.
If you would have said that, I didn't even know.
What's going on?
Bro. Oh, thank you, man. It's a pleasure being in your presence.
Hey, how you doing?
It's been all right.
Nobody don't like you.
You came in here like.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how you came in, bro. I can
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
Hey, but sit back and think about it, right? People say that all the time, right? We talked about that last week. People say all the time they want peace, right? But like I say now, but we gotta understand that we actually know what it means. Now what we sit back looking at. I got some of that Gucci Guilty. It's on point too.
Yeah, it's in the car. I ain't put it on it.
Yeah, that's that word. You know what I'm saying? But seriously though, right? He say that these prophets, he say they gonna turn their ears to listen to fables. We already seen that the man of sin is gonna come to teach those who forsake the covenant. You know what I'm saying? Now he's saying they speaking a vision out their own heart because people looking for, that's what I'm telling you, see it all the time. Nigga doing something they ain't got no business. They try to find somebody to tell them, boy, you right. Girl, you right.
Teach them everything the lust of their own heart.
To own heart.
They ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, that's some shit out.
You know what I'm saying? But not even, I ain't even talking about that. It could be counsel. It could be it could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because most people, they're gonna go to somebody who they hoping gonna tell them what they want to hear. Then when somebody who don't tell them what they want to hear, they thinking that this boom, it's another reason. You know what I'm saying? It's not another reason. Like I was telling you yesterday, nigga came to me with something, and they thinking because I'm involved that I couldn't be objective. I could be objective, but the thing is I may tell you something that you don't particularly care to want to hear, so you want to try to put it on, I got a bias for what I'm telling you this, and that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Because I have to look at it, if I give wrong judgment based on bias, I can go to hell for that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't worth going to hell for because I want this, so I'm going to tell you this because this is what I want. No, I'm going to just keep it right on down the line. You do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell a nigga, go ahead and do that because I know that's what you want to do because that's what you want to hear. But when you going after your own lust and you have that desire, that's what you're going to cleave to. Tell me what I want to hear. Make me feel good about what I know internally is wrong. Because when you deal with this word, the book say, rebuke your neighbor, don't suffer no sin on him. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at most Druze is not going, you know you dumb, you go do that, right? You know that's retarded. You know that's not a righteous move. You know that's not a wise move. You know that's not, and those niggas ain't gonna do that. Niggas either gonna be, or they gonna go on ahead. And not, if anybody strengthen you in something that they know is wrong, that they can actually look at you and they know you wrong, that person don't love you, and obviously Yahuwah ain't with them. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way in the world y'all gonna send somebody to you and tell you, I know that wrong. Go ahead and do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you looking at where they judgment at. You gotta look at stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, what we're looking at is right, is here, right? We see YAH, it means to reveal the hand of authority, teach and train. We already went back and sat back and looked at that. Basically, we look at, he say, oh, Lucifer, son of the morning, right? So we looking at, to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, the power of his being covers your habitation to his esteem. So when you read, oh, Lucifer, son of the morning, that's actually what you read. You know what I'm saying? What we looking at that for is the authority to teach and to reveal, the teaching, to train.
That rocks the other way.
Yeah, I just wrote it. How Troy wrote it. Yeah, he did it wrong. In the move, absolutely, and we did it twice too. And I already knew that too, and just wrote it just like how it was on the page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tripping. But check it. But check it though, right? Because again, we get into that mark in the forehead is what we're working towards. You know what I'm saying? The reason why we working towards that is it's actually going showing who you serve, and it's not a mark in your forehead like you think it might be. And even I'm talking about it's your mind, but in it's going even more so. It's going to be literally a mark on your forehead, like a literal mark on your forehead that you would have. And when you see what it is, you're going to be tripping. Because again, it's in your mind. It's the word sealed in your heart and in your inward parts. The same way that we were looking at in Daniel 11, like we looked at the other night, last night, that the man of sin is going to be teaching the people who forsake the Kadesh covenant. That's why we're looking at that 2 Timothy. They going after doctrines of devils because he's a serpent. He the one coming to teach it. Then the people keeping teachers to him to having itching ears that they turn their ears from the truth to believe fables because I got a desire to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because he's coming to imitate Hamashiach in every cut and corner. You would say you open up that fruit like you was finna just bust it out and throw it straight to Lizzie because she eyeballed it.
But I bought hard though. Just looking like, hey,
Just don't come up off the
I
snacks.
don't see my friend yet. But
Just come on off the snack or them
What you
chips.
got over
So
there?
let's look over here at Matthew chapter. Matter of fact, let me finish this Daniel 11, right? And then we'll look at Matthew chapter 24, because something came to Stanley's mind when we were talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at all this stuff all together, everything point to the Son. Everything go back to the law. That's what we were talking about before we came here. Nigga be like, anybody can do it. But anybody can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You get John 7:49, go along with it. I can't never sit back. One thing for certain, two things for sure. You can't never say what Yah will give a man. You know what I'm saying? I can't never say Yah ain't gonna give Core that. Or he wouldn't give Darius that, or Dwight that, or Stanley that. You can't never say what Yah give wisdom liberally. He give it to who he want to give it to. You know what I'm saying? The way you turn around and look at it is there's certain things like that's not readily available. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be like, well, I know all the stories in the book. That's how you can tell me what the mark of the beast is. You deal with most Hebrews, you're gonna get 72 different answers. Most is gonna be the microchip.
Yeah.
Some is gonna be, oh, it's the sign of who you serve. But most of them won't go into great detail of where did the mark come, because the mark in the forehead and the hand is in the law.
So answer this: when it says you won't eat or buy, what you think he's probably saying with that?
When he talking about you won't buy or sell, well, let's sit back and let's look at it then. Let me finish this.
Buy or sell unless you receive the mark.
Because you don't sit back and look at it, you ain't gonna be able to, you're not gonna be able to function, you're gonna stand out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, they gonna come, remember in the 12th chapter, they say he made a flood to kill those, but then he ducked them off in the wilderness. Which is another sign to show you that we got to be over in that way.
for that to happen.
For that to even happen. Which is gonna go back to show you how he gonna plead for his heritage, Yasharal, how he gonna go to war with these people, and how we got to be over it, and it's got to go down during tabernacles for that even to go down for us to be over them. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to be over them. Because he gonna make a way for everybody to come over them.
Yeah, so everybody got to be over there before Pesach, or you said before Tabernacle?
Before the master come back.
Oh, before the massacre.
We would, but remember, right? He said we being hid in the wilderness for 3.5 years. So that means not all of us, but some of us. You know what I'm saying? So that means the time that this man acting a monkey dog fool, we already over them. Which is how the way we would be able to flee. When he's saying flee into Judea or Yehuda in the mountains. How are we gonna be able to flee there if we over here?
Well, I had an auntie. She flew into the hills of California. Said she was watching TV one day, and she felt like the Lord was telling her, "You can watch this TV, but she would spend no time with me."
Well, now
Turn off that TV and went to
sorry.
California.
We'll deal with it like this here. Now that I sit back and think about it, because looking at it in the Greek, what the word means ain't gonna tell you too much of nothing.
Yeah.
But what it's gonna do, because it just literally means what it says. But what you're gonna look at, what we're gonna see is you're not gonna be able to buy or sell without that mark, because you're gonna see that you don't serve Hashatan. Everybody's gonna see it. Therefore, boy, there ain't nobody gonna afford. They gonna have it. They go one of them Hebrew people. They go one of them believers.
Give them nothing.
Don't give them nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, he says in Revelation 2:10, he said the devil will cast some of you into prison to try you. Because when we ain't really understand, I'm telling you, man, that's why we talked about that fear of Yahuwah. Let that be your fear and your dread, and not man, because that time gonna come where these people literally are going to come for. Let me say, the time will come where men will kill you and thinking they doing Elohim service. They gonna be coming to exterminate us on every cut and corner.
You ain't got no fear of Yahuwah. And you gonna fear man. Like
You gonna fear man.
You're not gonna have nothing built up if you ain't been building. You ain't been
Yeah,
stone.
you gonna take tomorrow.
You ain't in the word, you ain't got.
You gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna put this
I was
man.
thinking like the Bible said, like, because it says all power is gonna be given to this man, so he gonna have power over everything.
Everything.
Especially if he exalts himself as the Elohim, so he gonna have control of everything. So if you ain't following him,
You can't get
buy
nothing.
or sell.
You can't do nothing.
eat.
You can't do nothing.
Yeah, that's what.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't mess with y'all.
Yeah.
Because remember, he said he gonna go against those who keep the covenant. Remember, he say the dragon. Look at Daniel chapter 7 before we even look at Matthew. Look at Daniel 7, what he say he gonna do. Just go right with Revelation chapter 12, man. Dudes don't sit back and see right now. I see if niggas losing their faith off of small stuff. Like I said, you can't even lose something you ain't never
I can
had.
tell you what the debate going on Instagram, meats versus vegan diets.
Like that's all these niggas care about. You around here arguing about can you eat meat or should you not eat meat? When this man come around here, you ain't gonna be eating. You gonna be eating some meat, all right? You know what I'm talking about? No, what I'm talking about eating because the only way you gonna be eating some meat is because you in this system.
Yes.
No, I ain't talking about. I'm talking about you in this system because you can be able to buy it.
Yeah.
You can be able to buy vegetables, regardless if you call meat plants or whether you talking about animal flesh. You gonna have some meat, all right. Those who worry about that's how you know niggas ain't gonna make it. That's the same way I was telling you niggas worrying about hybrid animals, this, that, there, and the third. But the weightier matters of the law you ain't keeping. So that stuff don't mean no difference to you. Cause when this stuff happen, your faith gonna be shook so hard, you gonna go for it. Cause you gonna be like, that look like the master, you fool.
So you can see the whole world.
Look at Daniel chapter 7, man. Boy, I hope the thing don't die on me before we get done. I definitely forgot to
Desktop chart.
yeah. Verse 15. I thought I had it. I didn't even think I never took it out of the bag.
Everybody.
Probably not. Or at least the first, however we go for it quick.
Yeah.
It says, I, Daniel, was grieved in my ruach in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me known the interpretation of the things. The great beasts which are four kings which shall arise out of the Arats. But the Kadeshim of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all others, exceeding dreadful. So that means he was exceedingly terrible or awesome, which is what's causing these people. That's why I say, who is like unto the beast? And then we're going to read a verse in Psalm 89 where it say, well, who is like unto you? Because that's all he's trying to do is mimic the son. See, when Hashatan couldn't get Hamashiach to go after him in Matthew chapter 4, he said, well, screw it, I'll make my own then.
It's the only route.
It's the only route. And I'm going to put it to you like this here. I told y'all this last night, me and the brother were talking about this here. 99.9% accuracy, the Imam Mahdi or the man of sin is going to be a Muslim. Ain't gonna be no Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an Arab. And I'm gonna show you in a minute why it's gonna be an Arab.
And the thing you brought out yesterday, when you say about chopping the heads off and stuff, they the main people.
They the main people that even do that. And I ain't even touching on that. You know what I'm saying? Because when it come down to, that's why you mentioned that, Sharia, he gonna come and instruct to go against the covenant. There's only one other religion bigger than the book, and that's that. So they gonna teach you moon worship.
They live by that and they die by that. You don't want to do that.
That's why he say he that killed with the sword shall be killed with the sword. That's how they operate. That's how I don't even see how dudes miss that. That's who Esau is. I don't see how they miss that. You know what I'm saying? That's who they is. They act just like we act. Man, I done seen videos where they end up tricking while the women in there twerking.
Gold, chrome, AKs, they busting.
I'm talking about wilding like how we wild.
Yeah,
You talking about on the table full of money and she just walking up, Canada.
I'm talking about dudes like this. And it's like 10 women in there twerking. They tricking. I'm talking about they literally end up making it rain, and they walk around there with the yappers like this. I'm talking about gold ones, chrome ones. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, boy, they freakier than we is. And then guess what they call them too? Sand niggas. That's what they call them, sand niggas. You know what I'm talking about? The difference between them and us is they got that oil. They don't need them Caucasians. Nope. That's why I would tell you the Caucasians can't exploit them.
They
I'm
can't.
talking about white man. He's a man that Arab got more money than them niggas. They don't know.
Well, see, it's not just that. See, the white man gangster with his. See, I'll just come take your oil. See, I'll come up with a false pretense to make a wall and take yours.
I met a guy from Kuwait this week.
Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? White people gangsters. Like that here, we just jerk. We steal everything. Names, culture, resources, land. It don't make no difference. You got it, I'm gonna take it.
So that's
Your
why the
name-
scripture say
your
they
name
gonna
is
come from
Toby.
east.
Yeah, we just gonna take it. Cause that's how we roll. You know what I'm saying? Arabs don't take nothing. We just sleep with hoes and get money and act like we upright and righteous while we pray to this rock.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't care what you do. That's your business.
That's your business. Just don't come around here talking about, cause we like this here, Allah Akbar, and we gonna kill all you crackers. That's how they feel. I will strap a bomb to my
So
chest
that's what they
and
waiting
kill
for.
white people. They rating on the Imam Mahdi.
And I think the so-called,
That's what they call it.
The so-called Jews, they gonna validate it.
They gonna validate the Imam Mahdi. And they gonna see, he fit the scriptures that's like this here because all these people are in bed together. That's what most of us don't know. When Obama became president, he came up with an initiative for all religions to come together. It still operates to this day. It's just not broadcast on a wide screen, on a wide scale.
I'm telling
Cause
you.
he know too. I think
He may know, he may not know. You know what I'm saying?
he know like
A
what-
position of
what-
power like that.
He know. He to set all that up like that.
Well, I mean, they put it up there, but then you have to sit back and look at Yah, just like Yah revealed to his servants what he wanted to know. How Shaitan revealed to his servants who he wanted to know. Just because Obama president don't mean he let him know what time it is. You know what
But
I'm
he a
saying?
puppet. For-
Yeah, but that don't mean, guess what? That don't mean he know what time it is.
Hey, pawns don't know what the kings and the, back there doing.
No.
Pawns play their role.
You play his role.
So is this person being born up right now?
He might already be living. Just sitting back biding his time till y'all say, you can do it now.
And that's the only, and I can agree with that. Simply off the fact when we look at just where we are now and then the knowledge that is being revealed at this point. Y'all's only gonna give us what we need in order for a certain
Keep
season.
going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I would tell y'all last night, like people to sit back and look at, they get confused on, well, who really got the word? Because y'all kept Passover March 23rd, y'all kept Passover April the 3rd, people keeping Passover April 20, and like I told you, you talking about 2,000 years you've been cut off and separated from every single solitary thing you ever knew. And you expect in a matter of time that it'll bounce like this here, not knowing that there were always differences of doctrine, period.
Within his camp, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's always been like that. It's very rarely that the whole house of Yasharal was ever on one accord. I'm talking about everybody. Very rare. The only time you could probably have that is when we came out of Mizraim on the first Passover. That might have been the only time everybody was on the same accord.
Walking through that water.
That's it.
That's about it.
You know what I'm saying? After that, no sir. So when you look at that, right, and you begin to think and you begin to understand, you begin to know that it's a process of stuff that you sit back and look at. You don't look at the man and say, I give apostles, prophets, pastors, teachers, and evangelists for the unity of the faith. So it's going to be a period of time. But niggas in a microwave society, and then I think a lot of time people talk like that for a means the reason so they can go do what they want to do. Ain't nobody got it, so what's the point? What's the point is you want to sin. That's the point. Just going to be real with it.
If you want to do that, do that.
Because you got to be practical. You talking about 2,000 years of information that's getting jammed in 10, 20 years.
Ain't no reason
30
why y'all
years.
probably put that on your mind to say you should
40 years.
You ain't try to preach on.
50 years. You know what I'm saying?
And really, to be honest, it's really only been about 3-4 years for a mass. Like it's been people, but the number of people
That's
that
been, I put
now,
it, the explosion of people from what I seen started by, from what brother telling, probably by 2007. So you talking about in a 9-year span, how it just bombed. Because it was always dudes out here.
I got hit in 2013.
You know what I'm saying? Of people that knew who they were. And some have been doing this 20 years. Like I've seen people say, all my kids been raised in this all they ever known. But you talking about a mass explosion, like it came across me in 09.
I got hit 13.
Yeah,
Yeah, February.
You know what I'm saying? So you talking about in 7 years, you think that I'm gonna have a mastery of 2,000 years of information in 7 years?
2,000 plus, man.
That, I'm like this here, right? Like I told y'all before, right?
because the first few years, you breaking out of the whole whatever. If you were in a religion beforehand,
You dropping everything you ever do.
yeah, you having to drop all that stuff, and
Yeah,
that
learn
takes
all over.
and that takes
You gotta
time.
unlearn the lies and relearn.
Like I said, y'all see all this stuff over here, right? Now you look at this, right? Our ancestors at the time of Mashiach's resurrection, they knew all this. Like the apostles sat down and were taught that. Because remember, you can look at John 7, they say, how did this man know of letters having never learned. Why would they ask him that? Because they weren't speaking Hebrew at that time. They were speaking Aramaic. So they sitting there looking at, how is he writing Paleo-Hebrew characters in the dirt? Ain't nobody never taught him that.
Because we know they ain't taught him, because we know who his people is.
We know his people is. They say, how does this man, because when they say letters, what letters you think they talking about? You think he around there writing Aramaic? This man writing this same stuff right there on the ground. He might have been writing in there. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's about me. I'm going to tell y'all that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, though. You imagine you see this man, he writing that down. Yeah, man, let me write this here. Aaron, like this here. How do you even, nigga, I don't even know these letters, nigga.
We ain't seen this in a while.
You know what I'm saying? And then this man resurrect from the dead. You think he ain't teach them that? You think this man ain't go bit by bit, step by step, and show them that? You know what I'm saying? Now, most of us looking at you starting to learn the language in the last 2-3 years and learn stuff that your ancestors been knew. You know what I'm saying? We can't even speak our mother tongue. You know what I'm talking about? And you shocked that all of us ain't on the same page. Some ain't on the same page because niggas satisfied with the level of knowledge that they have.
Can't never be complacent.
You know what I'm saying?
Be content, but not complacent.
Now let's sit back and look at finish like this here, right? Let me finish at verse 19. He said, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were as iron, his nails of brass, which devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with his feet. So you know what that means? He's trample underfoot. He talking about the residue, the remnant, which is the parah. There, he's not keeping the commandments, so he's going to trample underfoot. Basically, if you did it to me, you did it to the least of my brethren, you did it unto me. I'm going to trample Mashiach underfoot. If I can't trample him underfoot, I'm going to trample his people. He said, out of the 10 horns that were in his head, one of the other which came up, before whom 3 fell, even that horn had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. And I beheld, and the same horn made war with the Kadeshim and prevailed against them. We're going to go ahead and deal with this because niggas play with Daniel 7:25 entirely too much, and we're going to kill that this afternoon. He says, and until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given unto the Kadeshim of the Most High, the time came when the Kadeshim possessed the kingdom. We already know who the Ancient of Days is. That is Mashiach. We done looked at that before, but we definitely going to get to this one here and tie that to this here. And then we're going to see how that light come in. Because we know we already deal with this here. Because what we're going to deal with, because I have to, that mark in the forehead is going to throw you. It's going to throw you. Because everything this man doing is a copy. He going to copy Passover. You know what I'm saying? He going to copy the death. He going to copy the resurrection. He going to copy everybody filing. He going to copy the sign. He going to copy the mark. He going to copy his name in your forehead. You know Satan's not original.
He's a copycat.
He's a copycat. But the thing is, for him to copycat it and mirror it, what does it do? If you don't know the law, if you only know bits and pieces of the story, now what happens is, then you'll think that's the one. Even though people sit back and we go through all this stuff. And when I say we, I'm talking about all our people all across the world, all 4 corners, all this stuff. They don't catch the word right. They ain't hearing it right. It ain't lined up right. They ain't getting the understanding right. When somebody comes and does anything closely paralleling to it, they're going to lean to it. So verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the rats, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole of rats, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them. He shall be diverse from the first. He shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the Kadeshim of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of time. Now everybody say this here, see, that's why we on this Gregorian calendar, idiot.
No, that's 3.5 years of the tribulation or whatever.
That's 3.5 years of his rule. But see, now if he say think and take times and laws, what you think he talking about? I'm talking about the wear out, change times and laws. We're gonna look and see what it means. Obviously we know what laws is.
Yeah, he gonna.
What's time?
They gonna go into them doctrines of devils.
If we already know that he is going to, by intelligence, with those who forsake the Kadesh covenant, then we sit back and see, what is he going to do? He's going to teach people to go against a book.
Which is to worship themselves.
Which what we were talking about, how the merchants of the rats seduce the people. The merchants of the rats seduce the people with their sorceries. He's going to teach you to go against the book. What's the best way to change it? You know, get Isaiah 24. Look what he tell you right here. Right, all this stuff already been told of what this man is gonna do, but we don't look at it that way. See, you know, and you know a lot of that stuff with the chip and all that stuff. You know, to be honest, that stuff come from white people.
Say it again. You said what?
With the chip, RFID and all of that. That's their understanding.
That's their understanding. Indeed.
That's the first one I got. That, you know, that thing used to freak me out when I first.
When we look at times, we have Zemon. That's a set time, or season. So you know what that means? He'll sit back and try to do set time, appointed time. He gonna seek to try to change the feast days. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing he gonna try to do. They ain't changed no feast days. You know what I'm talking about? And then obviously when we look at laws, we have Doth. A decree of the king, a law, the law of Elohim. So he gonna sit back and try to tell you, just like what did Hashatan do in Genesis chapter 3? He sought to change times and laws. He came to that woman and sought to try to change the set appointed time when something was supposed to happen and the instruction that was given. And if the beast gets his power from the serpent, then guess what he gonna do? Because he said to change the law of Elohim. He said, you won't die. He tried to change the law of Elohim with this woman. So what is this man gonna come and try to do? Change. You can worship. Worship. What you mean? You can make a covenant with me. That's dangerous right there.
Especially when you come with flatness and
Yes, sir.
Tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Yes, sir. Isaiah 24 and verse 5. Make it 4. Matter of fact, make it 3. Then we'll look at Matthew 24. I gotta use time for that. I was looking at something in Isaiah 24 with a brother this morning, but we might have to say that for another day. Then I ain't finished that Daniel 11 with that thing. We finished that too. But listen to what he say though. Matter of fact, let's look at verse 1 because it gets ugly. Behold, Yahuwah make the earth empty and make it waste and turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest. As with the servant, so with his master. As with the maid, so with the mistress. As with the buyer, so with the seller. As with the lender, so with the borrower. As with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. Hello? Hello?
I'm sorry, Sean, again, my phone is messing up.
Yeah. He said, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahuwah has spoken this word. The earth mourn and fade away. The world languish and fade away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, that they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. You see what he said they did? Change the ordinances, change the laws, broke the everlasting covenant. Now you know that he said that Pesach was an ordinance forever. He got to go to seek to try to change that. He gonna come to imitate it and then come and change it. That's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and you really think about what he's doing and what he's trying to obtain. So when you see him taking about changing times and laws, it said times in that instance was a set time. These are the set feasts of Yahuwah. We know that the word for appointed or like this here is appointed times. The word escaped my mind at the time. You know what I'm saying? So you sit back and look at it. That's what he's trying to change. How is he going to try to change that? To reveal by the hand of his authority to teach and train the people. The only way that he going to get people to go, you know, those who trust in Yahuwah is not going to keep Pesach. So you know what ends up happening? We stand out. You know what I'm saying? You know what? We not going to not keep Pentecost. You know what happens? We stand out. You know what I'm saying? We not going to not keep booths, trumpets, and atonement. We stand out.
Because then it's going to be their days where they doing stuff. And
Yeah,
we ain't accounted for it at that party.
yeah, because if you change the feast
No
days,
cause,
they
no
gonna
show.
miss the calling of when you.
They going to miss all that. That's what he's looking for. Matthew chapter 24. And get you by verse...
Know what happens when you get a no call, no show.
verse 10, and then we'll go back and look at Daniel 11 after Matthew 24.
Man, boy, and then like you said in Ezekiel 8,
They turn their back on the temple. That's what you're doing. You turning your back on the Mashiach.
The east and worship
The rock,
The rock.
the moon god, the sun god.
That's when they built the house.
Matthew 24:10. Then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Matter of fact, look at verse 9. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. Now, if you hated by all nations for Yahushua's name's sake, why? Because you hold into the faith. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another, just like what it tells you in Daniel. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Why would iniquity abound? Because this is what he's teaching the people. Lawlessness. If he's seeking to change times and laws, and they done changed the ordinances and changed the laws and broken the everlasting covenant, then they are seeking to have the whole world filled with iniquity. Everybody is doing everything they want to do. That's why you look, I think, in Revelation 8, when he say he healed all them plagues, he say, and none of them people repented for their murderers, for their thefts, for their idolatries, for their sorceries, for none of it. Like he plaguing these people and they still won't repent. He say, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And the gospel of this kingdom shall be preached unto the whole and all the world for a witness unto all nations. That's what we talking about last night. Everything in the Shamahim bear witness. They can't say they ain't know. Then shall the end come. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the Kadesh place. Whoso read, let him understand. Then let them which be in Yehuda flee unto the mountains. Let them which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Now let's look in Daniel chapter 11. So he say, when this abomination of desolation take off, you can't go back in the house and get not Nathan. Don't go get Nathan. After we look at it, Daniel 11, get Exodus chapter 12.
And that makes sense, because if you really got that faith in Yahuwah, you know you're going to have everything that you need.
But not only that, it's going right back to the law.
Exodus, when they got left.
Because we couldn't take nothing with you.
11, they had to go.
Time to go.
Time to go.
Yeah.
But see, and we would know this, why? Because he's coming through at the same time trying to do what I do, and you're going to have enough sense to know,
See you later.
I'm out of here. Because the abomination of desolation, taking away the daily sacrifice, is not just necessarily talking about the sacrifice of animals, but what did he tell you to do? Offer the sacrifice of your lips and give praise to his name. You will not be able to walk around and openly say, Yahuwah Ba Hashem Yahusha. You're not going to be able to walk around and do that. You know what I'm saying? Not if they done changed the ordinances and the laws and forsaken and broken the everlasting covenant. You're not going to be able to do that.
What you talking about? What you saying? What you saying?
Who? What? Remember he just said they'll deliver you up. You'll be hated by all. What they going to hate you for? Because what you're saying is going against what we're doing. We're idolaters, we're thieves, we're fornicators, we're murderers, we're sorcerers. This is going against what we do. We can't have you out here talking like that.
You condemning us.
I got a cue. Why you think all the people gathered up to kill the two witnesses and celebrated when they were dead? Because these men had power to afflict these people with all manner of plagues. You know what I'm saying? They had power to do this. When they die, they say, I'm telling you. Look at it, about verse 31 of Daniel 11. I think it's in another place in Daniel chapter 9, but that's something a little different. He says, an arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that make desolate. Now let's look at some of these words in here, man, and then we got to take off and get the arrow on for this thing. Tap on out. Because we just wanted to start with that one there to line up, because that's what the high priest does, is reveal the hand of authority and teach and train. That's what the high priest do, because that's what Aaron is. You know what I'm saying? Daniel 11. Probably shouldn't have hit that. And where we at? Verse 31. Now let's see what some of these words is here that I'm looking at that's piquing my interest. We'll look at arms here, right? And the word there means arm, forearm, shoulder, strength. Arm as a symbol of strength, forces, political, and military. So he say, arm shall stand on his part. And what is this man gonna have? Don't it say all the kings of the earth gonna be with him to go to battle? I think that's Revelation 17 that say that. You know what I'm saying? We already know Revelation 19 say all the kings of the earth gonna be with him. So when he say arms, he's got power on his part. So he's got military might to be able to influence all the people. And that's what's gonna scare people. So then when we look at pollute the sanctuary of strength, we already know what that is. When we look at strength in this aspect, listen what he said, place or means of safety and protection, refuge or stronghold. A place of safety, fastness, harbor, stronghold, refuge. Well, we know the book say in Proverbs 18 and 10, if I'm not mistaken, the name of Yahuwah is a strong tower, and those that run into it are safe. So when he's sitting back looking at the pollute the sanctuary of strength, he's actually going to cause the pollute Mashiach. Let's sit back and look at what it say for pollute, though. If I quit hitting dictionary, you might be able to do it. So when he say his all in this part, the Lord says to profane, defile, pollute, to desecrate, to make common, to bore through and to pierce, to wound and to pierce. We already know it's got sanctuary, sacred place. We know this is Mashiach, he the sanctuary. Then what he's seeking to pollute, and then the abomination that make desolate. A detestable thing or idol. An abominable thing, abomination, idol. So when we sit back and look at, that's why he say, he that readeth Daniel, let him understand. That means this man is going to set up an idol. An idol. You know, a lot of think abomination, desolation is them sacrificing a pig in the temple. That's not what it is. And what did he say that false prophet gave to move the people to do? To make an image of the beast, that everybody should worship it. That's the abomination that make desolate.
You know how everybody was talking about the Baphomet.
Yeah.
And they talking, they took out the 10 commandments, put the Baphomet up there on.
Yeah, Baphomet, like boys and girls.
Yeah. And everything.
And everything in between. Goats, donkeys, pigs. Oh, he don't care, man. You got an orifice, he's going in it. You know what I'm talking about? But straight up though. But when you sit back and you look at it, right? Looking at what that means to make the abomination that make desolate, it's talking about an idol. And at the end of the day, all the serpent and the beast are trying to do is to get people to worship an idol. So then it makes a lot of sense when you see the abomination of desolation stand in the Kadesh place. When you see somebody set up an idol in their place, hit it. Let's look at Exodus chapter 12. So when we look at polluting the sanctuary of strength, we know Yahushua is our strength. My strength is made perfect in weakness. So they're trying to pollute him, profane him, make him common and insignificant. They playing a dirty game now. I told y'all for the words. I mean, the understanding of the scriptures allow us to see that and not fall for that. Oh, I'm in Leviticus. It's definitely not going to help us out what we're doing. So when we look at Exodus 12, right? By 8, right? Or make it 6. You shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. The whole assembly of the congregation of Yasharal shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts on the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh of that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, when with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat none of it raw, nor sodden it at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs, and with the burntness thereof. Now this something that came in my head, right? Now he said in the bit, it said all the earthquakes and all that stuff be the beginning of sorrows. You'll be hated for all nations, and then they'll begin to deliver you up and all this here. And we were hated of Pharaoh and all the Mizraim. You know what I'm saying? Now they didn't set up no abomination. You know what I'm saying? But they got, because you got to realize, setting up an idol in Jerusalem would definitely make the land desolate. That's why the land desolate now, because we set up all them idols over there. That's why it's desolate now. That's like the only land on earth an idol should have never entered into it. And this man is going to stand in, and 9 times out of 10, well, we already talked about this here, right? Because we can speculate on it. We know it's 2 Zions. They probably, when he say that out of court, he probably going to have him in the place that they acknowledge to do it. You know what I'm saying? And let them be there to do it and pollute it there versus polluting the other. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna pollute it nonetheless. Because I'm telling you, when you hear more people talk about the abomination of desolation, what they always refer to, niggas sacrificing a pig in them.
I ain't never heard that one.
I've heard it one.
Because it goes back to Antiochus, if I'm not mistaken, where he actually took a pig
Oh, like
and sacrificed it in the temple. But when we look at what it means, that's not what the Hebrew word actually say what that means. It's idolatry.
Just like in Daniel.
He just defiled the temple. See the difference is like with Daniel though, he set that up in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? See, this man is coming and he's gonna follow Nebuchadnezzar's lead, but he gonna do it in the land where he got no business doing it. And the people gonna follow because I've changed the set appointed time, so you can't keep the feast when you keep the feast. Can't do that no more. How can he be able to do that? Because if we wager that he's a Muslim and they come in with whatever they come with, oh, he ain't no keeping no Passover. Keep some Ramadan around here.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that.
Play with goats.
You know what I'm talking about? Married 9-year-old girls. Because he said they gonna change everything. You know they married 9-year-old girls, right? You know that? Oh yeah. I mean, they literally do that. No exaggeration, not trying to be funny. They literally will marry a grown 25, 30-year-old man to a 9-year-old.
40-year-old man.
They do that. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of those girls end up dying
Because these grown men actually try to have intercourse with the 7, 8, 9-year-old child.
because it's a virgin.
You know what I'm saying? You know you got to watch for a religion that tell you when you die, you go to heaven and get virgins. Well, if you living
70
forever,
virgins.
what you need all these virgins for? And where did these virgins come from?
He's 70 virgins.
You know what I'm saying? That every man there got 70. Because I know every last Arab, every Muslim ever lived wasn't no virgin. You know what I'm talking about? So where these virgins come from that every man who make it there got 70?
That's so carnal when you really think about it.
Absolutely. I'm going to heaven to get me 70 women that ain't never been touched. And I'm going to have sex with them all.
One night.
In one night. And I'm going to blow myself up to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna blow myself up to do it.
That's why you quick to take this out.
Yeah, exactly. Of course you're gonna be.
Don't it though?
Yeah, because you're getting 70 virgins. Yeah.
I got makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm glad I brought this here. Because that thing finna die soon.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So, look at where we at. About verse 9. He say, eat not of it raw, nor sodden it all with water, but roast with fire, with his head and his legs, with the purtenance thereof. And you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remain of it until the morning you shall burn with fire, and thus you shall eat it with your loins girded, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it with haste. It is Yahuwah's Passover. Now drop down about verse 33. He say, and the Egyptians were urging upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, we all be dead men. And the people took their dough before it was leaving, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. That's why he said, you ain't got time to go get nothing. You got to go. The same way when we came up out of Mizraim, you ain't got time to go get nothing. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? When you see this idol set up, you know it's finna get ugly. You got to go. That's when he say the great tribulation gonna start. You know what I'm saying? He already given us clues to what to know, what to look for, what the scriptures already been telling us for. We already know what to look for. Because he said he going to cause the daily sacrifice to cease.
So if we in America, when we do that, where do we go?
You don't go nowhere.
We would already be over there, be honest.
To be here and for that to occur.
You done already missed the boat. That don't mean you can't make it there, but you done already missed the boat. You know what I'm saying? Because you already supposed to been over there.
And the only reason you wasn't getting over there is when they told you to get up out of here.
You stay.
I'll stay. And a lot of people think about it.
A lot of them are
I
going
know
to stay.
for a fact, there's somebody that, y'all say, it's time to go. I know my mama's staying.
Exodus 28. I ain't even worried about nobody in the world who gonna stay. A lot of people who claim this faith gonna stay.
I ain't gonna see.
28 in Exodus chapter 28. Let me make sure that's what I want.
All camps. Not even just now.
Let's sit back and look at Exodus chapter 28. And let's look at verse 1. Now we got Aharon. And what does it mean? The leader to reveal the exalted binding together of continual life. light bearer. Going on top of YAH, which means light bearer in itself. You know what I'm saying? Morning star, day star, all that good old stuff. You know what I'm talking about? To reveal the hand of authority to teach and to train. Kira, I'm gonna let you know when this thing tap out. And he's probably gonna tap out soon. But we'll try to get this part with the thing on the forehead in here as quickly as possible. Listen what he said. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Yasharal, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. Even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make Kadesh garments for Aaron thy brother, for esteem and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I filled with the ruach of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Now, we're not going to read about all this thing. You know, you got the shoulder piece, and you know, you got the breastplate. Let's come on down, because it's one particular thing that we want. That frontlet. And I think that's about verse 36.
Stop.
Verse 36, but I'll back him up to about 31. Shemuta, Exodus 28 and 31. And thou shalt make a robe of the ephod all of blue. And there shall be a hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof, and it shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of a harbison, that it be not rent. Do you see how he talking about that binding woven work? And do you see that that's in his name? To bind together. What did Mashiach come to do? Father, make them perfect in one as we are, or bind us together, that we would not be separated from him. That's what the light gonna do. That's why those who are joined unto him, when this man come and make all these moves, they not gonna fall for it. Because I'm bound, I'm wove together with him. That's why I say no man can pluck them out of my hand. And beneath upon the hem of it, thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he go into the Kadesh place before Yahuwah, and when he come out, that he die not. So we say that sound that he might be heard.
So you know what's going on.
So you know what's going on. My sheep hear my voice. You know what I'm saying? That he don't die when he go in or when he come out. So guess what that means? When he come out the Kadesh tabernacle to come retrieve us, that sound will go out. Exactly. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave it upon it, like the engravings of a signet, Kadesh to Yahuwah. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it might be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre, it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the Kadesh things, which the children of Yasharal shall hallow in all their gifts. And it shall always be upon his forehead, that he may be accepted of Yahuwah. Now, this man says that on this mitre in his forehead, it must always say, Kadosh, Kadesh, set apart to Yahuwah, right here on his forehead. And get what else? And it says that, and there it is, 10%. You might want to plug in your PC. Thanks for the warning, buddy. Thanks for the warning. It's definitely not going to be able to do it. So,
You check,
yeah. That's it, because I'm letting you know why you like to say, you telling me 10%, just let you know, sir. We are aware. There's nothing there. Can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness right here, Kerry, it's going to cut. Just letting you know. So I'm going to stop it. You're going to have to call. And then we're going to have to set that thing back up. Set that thing up somewhere. Where it gets prop up. They probably won't be able to see that, but oh well. So sit there and think about it, right? It says it's got to be on his forefront, but not only that, it's got to be upon his forehead, that not only that he bear the iniquity of all the set apart things, but that he shall be accepted. It shall always be there for him to be accepted. The only way you can be accepted of the man of sin is his name. You see how this is the name of a man? I mean, Hashatana, whatever this man's name is going to be on your forehead. Because the name of Yah is supposed to be right here on this man's forehead.
You think he's gonna come back in the name saying he the
Hello?
You think he's gonna come in the Hebrew name of the Messiah, or he gonna come in?
No. What I'm saying is right. It says that the plate of pure gold has to be on Aaron's forehead, and it says Kadash to Yahuwah. Well, this man say he say, remember, he say the mark of the beast is a number, is a name, and his number is 60, or 6, 6.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So then what you got in there? You got a man's name there. Same way you got Yahuwah's name for those that are his. See, look a little what it is. Ezekiel chapter 9. Look at it now. He say, set a mark in the forehead. Put my name there. Ezekiel chapter 9 and Revelation 22. But remember now, that name is on a mitre. So that means this man coming with the same thing. Now you got to remember.
Because he's doing no new thing, but he's got to take care of all the stuff that happened before time. He's got to do everything. So he's got to do, I get what you're saying, it's got to be on a mitre. Like it has to.
It has to be. It's the only way you'll go for it. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. So when we see that, right, the binding together, you know what I'm saying? Yahushua come to bind us together or join us to the covenant, join us to Yahuwah. This is what he come to do. He also came, he's the one to reveal, to exalt the Father, to bring us together to get eternal life. What does the man of sin come to do? He's the leader to reveal, to exalt Hashatan, to bind you together for eternal damnation. He coming to do the opposite. Real lie buster. He said,
I was just gonna say that's why in 2 Corinthians 11 says no wonder even Satan would transfer himself to.
This, and guess what? That's what that's coming back to. Coming with the horn of a lamb, mouth of a serpent. Coming at as a minister of righteousness, but the whole time he's spitting lies. We'll read that too. He says, and Yahuwah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Set a mark, sign in their forehead. Well, look at Revelation 22 and look what's in their forehead. Same thing that's in the law. You don't think they got mitres on? You think you just walk around with a plate in your forehead? You know what I'm saying?
They gonna think they're doing what's right.
Revelation 22 and 1.
Take that monkey stuff.
You embarrassing us. You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
what just came to my.
Take that monkey stuff off. You embarrassing us. You know what I'm saying? Say, and he showed me a pure river of water alike, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb. And in the midst of the street of it, on either side of the river, there was the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded a fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. So what's going to be in their foreheads? To Yahuwah. And you know what that means? That this person is set apart to Yahuwah, which means they are accepted of him. Hebrews 12 and 14.
Let's just throw this out there so people know. They always, oh, you see right there, the leaves of the nation shall, the leaves should be for the healing of the nation. And people always try to line that up with marijuana. Marijuana's a bud.
Yes, that's definitely not a leaf. That is a plant that spits out buds.
You're dealing with the bud, not the leaf. So just
to get you a tree that comes with leaves, you need to plant some seeds, and it needs to have some roots. And out of the roots, it needs to have some branches, and from the branches, he produces fruit. And when he produces fruit, you get those leaves.
The bud is fruit, but it says specifically the leaves shall be used.
Hey, niggas junkies, man. Niggas junkies.
No, I don't want to smoke.
Look at it, Hebrews 12 and 14. He say, follow shalom with all men in Kadesh, without which no man shall see the master. He said they shall see his face, and his name will be in their foreheads. Why? I'm set apart to Yahuwah. Which is why we read last night. He said, be ye Kadesh as I am Kadesh. And what manner you ought to be in all Kadesh manner of behavior and conduct. So when you got Yah's name in your forehead, you're going to show that you have set yourselves apart unto you, just like we talking about. Sanctify them with that truth. That word is truth. I sanctify myself by the truth, that they might sanctify themselves by the truth. He had to do it. This means Hamashiach had to have a man's name in his forehead, because he's set apart to Yahuwah. So when you got the man of sin's name in your forehead, you set yourself apart to Hashatan. See, now let's come back to Revelation 13 before I cut this thing off, or name it, and deal with it later when I can plug it up. Because we at 7%. I thought it would be able to last the whole time. I mean, it was almost had a full charge. Obviously
I
not.
want to keep you plugged into the system.
Plugged in.
It's the matrix, man.
So when we look at Revelation 13, right, in verse 14, right, and he deceived them that dwell on their rats by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on their rats, they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live, the abomination that made desolate. Because now he telling these people, make an image.
Because he done came back.
And remember, in Revelation 11, he's already made out a spot for the temple for these people to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Temple of God.
All over again.
Ooh, whoa. That just made me think about something. You know, like in New York, they're setting up certified Temple of God. Like,
Shoot, they got them everywhere. Shoot. There's one right out here in front of the library.
oh, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So then he say, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So when they sit back and look at it, he is copying exactly what is in the law.
People think it's going to be like 666, but that's just a symbolic of he's going to have.
He say you either got to have a mark, which we know is the sign of the covenant, you know what I'm saying, that he done made, that he done taught the people who forsook the Kadesh covenant, or he say you're going to have his name or the number of his name. But regardless of what, it's still a man, because we know the law say put that right there. And you got to remember something, right? And Aaron the high priest, Hamashiach came to make us priests. Therefore, if you joined unto him, you are a priest. Therefore, you would have his name in your forehead because you are Kadesh to Yahuwah. You know what I'm talking about? So therefore, this is what he coming to do. You set apart to Yahuwah, you set apart to Hashatan when you put that name in your head. That's why he's saying, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Because we already know the law say, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field that y'all made. We don't when they say brute beast, it's talking about people, carnal people.
And then, you know, somebody told me, he says, man has 6 electrons, six neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 atoms, something like that. So
Yeah.
that's letting you know at the same time that
It's
it's
a
man
man.
as well.
Go to 1 Kings 10:14.
All right, let's look at that.
It's because you touched on the 666. I seen it, so I just wanted to see what was your
1 Kings 10 and 14, y'all.
read it. This is like she was doing something with Solomon. Read it.
Say now the weight of the gold that came into Solomon one year was 606 talents of gold.
Yeah,
Besides that, he had of the merchantmen and of the traffic of space merchants and of all the kings of Arabia and all the governors of the country. Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold, 600 shekels of gold went to one target.
Yeah, I was just seeing about that 10:14. Like, is that symbolic or something? Like, let's say 666.
Well, it is. That's just saying it's got 666 talents of gold. That's a lot of gold. But I know this is the gold for the making of the temple, though. He said, well, hold on. They say all the kings, Solomon's drinking vessels were gold. We'll sit back and look at that 666. You know what I'm saying?
But like you said, seek ye not, this verse says, seek you not gold and silver. Do not let that be.
Oh, you talking about this here? This is Revelation 3 and 18. This is what you think, right? Revelation 3 and 18. And remember, he coming with flattery, so you know he probably gonna be flattering people with all that type of stuff. I got gold for you. I got this. I got that. I got that. You know what I'm saying? Well, 3 and 17. Because thou say I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and know not that thou art wretched, miserable, poor, and blind, and naked. I counsel thee to buy me gold tried in the fire, that thou may be rich, and right raiment, that thou may be clothed, that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that thou may see. So you know what he's sitting back telling you? What is the word of the one I'm looking at? Which we ain't got the day spring yet. He said that you might not be naked, because when that day spring, the ruach or the power of his being will cover your habitation to his esteem, which is still taking you back to this, to YAH, which is to reveal the hand of authority to teach and train, because how else can the power of his being cover your habitation? Unless the hand of authority, because remember, he said, who to the arm of Yahuwah has been revealed? Who have believed our report? You know what I'm saying? That's the hand of authority. Where's the right hand is always symbolized as authority. You know what I'm saying? That's why he sit at the right hand of Abba. You know what I'm talking about? So he the one that had to reveal that authority to teach and train you so you could get the ruach to cover your habitation, because he's got to bind you together to get eternal life, because he's the light bearer. That's what light come to do. In him was light, and the light was what? The light for men, right? Y'all hold on one second. I'm going to come on here and cut this thing off.